I need more of those. Oh, did I not set those to... Ooh, okay. We have to set these to receive from our other thing. I don't think we did that. This right here is my swag. This right here is my pretty boy swag. There we go. That should do it. Haha! I fucked it. Remote demand. Also, let's make this one that. And remote demand and that. Don't answer that. Mental gymnastics? I've been there before. I've been there before. Okay. This sucker's going. Good shit. Cool. I came across an interesting ethical question. Ryan, if you were a surgeon and your patient was a Jehovah's Witness in a coma but needed an immediate organ transplant or else they would die, would you do it in order to save their life, or would you respect their religious beliefs? So the ethical question is, if you are in a position of power... I'm going to ignore the specifics here because I feel like the specifics don't help. It's a great question. I was going to say. If they needed... How about they needed a blood transfusion? What if what they needed was an immediate blood transfusion or else they would die? Would you ignore it in order to save their life? I don't know. I really don't know. Would you? That's a very good question. No, you're good, Victoria. You're good. This is a very interesting question. I don't know. How I generally feel about this sort of thing is... I don't know. Now I'm thinking. Oh, we're almost out of iron here. That's probably part of it. Shit. If you knew it was their wish that they did not, then you should not. But if you knew that they were a Jehovah's Witness, but you didn't know how serious they were about it, go for it. It's well known that, Tub says, Victoria, it's well known that Jehovah's Witnesses let family members die by rejecting blood transfusion. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting question. I don't know that I have an answer for you. I mean, it's sort of related to, unfortunately and fortunately, it's sort of related to the conversation around end of life care. Ask Meg when you get the chance. I will. Remind me if I don't. I will for sure. Here's the thing, though. I think Meg's answer would be this. And tell me, and we'll see if I'm wrong. Meg's first answer would be this. Is that this is why you codify. This is why we have codified. So I think part of the question would have to be outside of any specific healthcare system where you take, for instance, like a Socratic oath or something like that. And more. Because frankly, I don't think you're given the choice, you know? Like, I know this is the hypothetical, right? And so I'm not trying to avoid the question, but you're not really given the choice. Yeah. Which is why we have that sort of codified and stuff. Yeah, Victoria says, at first glance, I said I would no doubt save the patient. It's my first duty as a surgeon. But at the same time, someone's autonomy is being violated and taken away, for sure. For sure. I don't know. It's an interesting question. I don't know what I'd do. Yeah, I hear you, Sprigget. But also, this is, you know, this is religion. This is why religious conversations are hard to have sometimes. Hard to have and stay respectful, at least. More magnetic coils. That's what I just made. Because where do you even start, right? Where do you even begin? Where do you even begin to have the conversation? All right. I think I need to make more circuits. Let's do something weird. Let's get weird, chat. Let's get weird. We have another science we can make. We can make green science now. Nope, we cannot technically make green science yet. Fuck, shit. Damn. Poop. Because I don't have it researched? Is our science not moving? Let's do that. Let's check on that. Are we not making any yellow? We have yellow. So what do we not have? It's blue? Why do we not have blue? Because we have no circuits, because we have no iron over here. Okay, so that's just time to restart iron completely. Okay, that's cool. I could do that. That's because these ran out. All right, cool. Yo, our original iron mine has disappeared. This is great, actually. Sprigget's lunch is over, back to work. Sounds great, Sprigget. Yeah, for sure, Duke. I think the thing though is that, like, I hear you. I hear where you're coming from, Duke. The thing that I think is important to recognize though, as a person who is no longer personally religious, cool. So like, I have no dog in this. I have no personal dog in this fight. Is that trying to think how to word this. Trying to think how to word this. I don't know. I just want to walk carefully around. Phrases like "there is no common sense in religion" is sort of like not taking religion on its own terms. It's sort of not taking religion on its own terms, you know? Yeah. Duke says, look at that nice sandy beach. Let's pave that shit and build some iron factories. Let's do it. Pave that shit. I think if religion and spirituality creates peace for someone, then I'm not going to be upset with it. But man, it pains me when another person tries to project it onto me. Yeah, like I think right, I value common sense for sure. I think a lot of us do. Like, the thing, it's not a good faith argument is what I'm trying to say when we say things like there's no common sense in religion, because for so many people what religion does is it provides purpose. Oh, too many items. No, I don't want to dismantle that. Fuck me. No way. That'd be really confusing. It's so beyond that. Belief is bigger than logic, and I would argue separate from in some cases. In many cases, I would argue separate from. Outside of it. Exactly. Outside of it. And I think that's where, frankly, as a non-religious person, but who was once very religious, I struggle sometimes to have conversations with fellow non-religious people. Is because we don't start from a place of like of understanding or empathizing with what religion can give you. And I know there's a lot bad as well, but there's a whole shit ton bad, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. These things are so tough. These things are so tough, but yeah. I hear you though, Victoria. I'm kind of in that same boat. It's the place where religion becomes all of our problem, right? Like if religion is just for giving you personally your sense of purpose and we have to redo all of this area, by the way, and your sense of meaning in an otherwise your sense of a larger belonging to something bigger, giving you meaning, etc. That's fantastic. It's where it overlaps with my life that it gets most contentious, right? And that's where most of the hotness around the issue of religion exists. It's when your religion tells me how to live my life, or when your religion tells me that my life is less meaningful than yours is because yours is full of meaning, or it's exclusive in a way that says this is the only way to true meaning, or this is the only way to true, etc., etc. Yeah, I didn't say atheist, Tub. I didn't say atheist. Yep. Yeah, for sure, Tub, for sure. I believe there's lots of great things religion can bring, but the bad can outweigh the good on a large scale. Yeah. No, yeah, and you're not gonna hear me disagree with you. You know, as a person who, for whom religion has done, I have seen religion do more harm in my life than I have seen it do good. However, that's sort of like, you could say the same thing about football, you know? And I would argue that you probably would say the same thing about American football. And yet it's not, like, what do we do, right? We can't just outlaw American football. Like, I mean, we could try. I don't know that that's a you know. Yeah. And that's a super imperfect metaphor, but the other thing is the good that religion does do, I think, is almost an irreplaceable good. Whereas the good that football does is probably a replaceable good. We can talk more about that later, but I don't like how some religions think that their religion is the superior one. Yeah. I hear you. I said this before, but there was this POS that I was in a friend group with back in my freshman year of college, and he said he enjoys talking about evolution to people who believe in Christianity so he can debate with them, prove them wrong, because anyone who follows religion doesn't think logically. Absolutely small dick energy right there. Victoria. Yeah. Absolute small dick energy right there. Yeah. Extreme pivot. But why the fuck does coffee taste so good? It's just an extremely socially acceptable crack. Yeah. Coffee's gross. Sprig it. Damn it, sprig it. All right, we need to remake. This is actually super easy. Let's just do that and that, and this is. What's that? Okay, cool. We had such a good run, going there, chat. We were understanding each other. We were all on the same page. I think the only other thing I want to say here before we do pivot off is, do you know what I've never seen actually help the religion causes problems in the world problem? Is the very adamant and non-understanding version of screaming into the void. Religion is the cause of all problems. You know, like, and that is one of the places where It's sort of like, so here's the deal. In 2016, right? Hi Connor, how's it going? Raise your hand if you were an American in November of 2015. Nope. November of 2016? November of 2015? How do election cycles work? November of 2016. Reconsidering everything about what you knew to be an American. You know, Keikona's in the chat. November 2016. What happened around then? I wonder. I was a Midwesterner relocated to California. And one of the most frustrating things that happened in the months after November of 2016 was, for me, was sitting around all of these California, very high academic, I'm in grad school in basically the Bay Area, high academic conversations about what's wrong with America and what's wrong with, in particular, other parts of America. None of which had any, like, any sort of good faith approach to it and to understanding what might have led to the perspectives of others in different parts of America. Perspectives I disagreed with, but which also were not honored or in any way taken with good faith. And I think that's one of the things we have to be careful with about this conversation too. That's all I'll say there. Strawberry, send help, send help. Hi Connor, how's it going? Sometimes I think about just eating coffee beans raw. Give Victoria some help, please. Please get Victoria some help immediately. Dr. House say, some would say that thinking our world and universe came from nothing is irrational. Some say thinking it didn't is irrational. Just saying. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. Some people do say both of those things. But I don't, like, where do we go from there, right? Some people say that the earth is flat. Some people say that the earth is round. It is really not any use to look around and say, well, some people say it is flat, you know? I think both sidesism is partially what's happening. Partially what's happening there. That's sort of the point. No one is going to change minds on either side. I don't know that we just fold that argument, though, right? I don't know that we just fold that argument, Dr. House. I don't think that... I think that maybe the idea that nobody is going to change minds on either side is maybe... is just going to confirm that fact for you. What are you talking about? What are we talking about, man? Earth is flat. Explain why a ball doesn't roll if you put it still on the floor. Earth is flat, man. Earth will be consumed by the void and then we'll all be nothing. Finally, something we can all agree on. Man, I will say, chat, thanks for bringing your most thoughtful selves to chat today, because I just read 6 comments in a row and we are on all kinds of different topics today and I'm having a good time with it. Wow. All kinds of stuff today. We went for the most philosophical versions of ourselves today. This is the wrong thing. I don't want those. I want to make science. I want science. Yeah, I hear you, Victoria. I hear you. If you open your mind too much, your brain will fall out. I'm not saying no one's mind will ever change. I'm saying that saying a few things in a chat won't change minds. Then people get upset, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. I hear that. That's... yeah, but I don't know that we're, like... I hear that. But also, does that presuppose that, like, are people getting upset? I think that sort of presupposes here that we're also here to change minds. And I'm like, I'm not. Yeah. Strawberry, that's nihilistic. Nihilism is basically that there is no point to anything. Connor, what if... Hear me out here, Connor. Hear me out here, Connor. What if I believe that the void is going to swallow all of us and everything that we've ever loved and all who we have ever loved and anything that we've ever accomplished in our life and etc. But also, I do believe there is a point to everything. I do believe there's a point to what we do. Then is it nihilist? I need matrix slabs. I need glass. Yeah, definitely. I think we can respect people having other opinions, Duke. And also, frankly, what I'm interested in is not like... I don't give a shit what your opinion is. What I give a shit about is like why it matters to you that that's your opinion, you know? I don't mind other opinions. Lord knows. What I care about is why you feel that way. Because that's what makes you, you know? That's where I'm coming from. Like the reason I care so much about why we've been talking about Jehovah's Witnesses a bunch, for instance, is that I know from personal experience that Tub has had a very complicated relationship with religion he inherited, you know? And so that's why when we were talking about Jehovah's Witness stuff earlier, like that's why that's so interesting to me, not to point and laugh at what Jehovah's Witnesses believe, but because it's part of what made Tub who Tub is. What if I believe that raw potatoes are delicious? We don't respect that shit. It's going too far. Get it out. Get that idea out of here. Suppress the idea. Alright, I need matrix slabs. That's what I was building. Now I need circuits. Cool. All right, matrix labs. Nope, there we are. Let's make this blue. Blue, blue. Yeah. What's that, Connor? Raw potatoes is very lawful good. Raw potatoes, man. I'm honestly kind of amazed not more people didn't make lawful good and lawful charts of characters in chat. Duke put himself out there, you know, he made a chart of what he thinks of all of us. Most of us. Whether we're lawful good or lawful evil or etc. Nobody else has braved the criticism. I would make my own, but I'm too scared of you all to make my own. I don't want to find out what you guys think of me. I had no need to. I was happy with mine. That's fair. If everyone stopped thinking they were always right, that would help a bunch. Lots of people in close vicinity to me just can't let go of their ego. Dude, I hear that, Victoria. Holy shit. I hear that. I hear that in myself, you know? I hear that in others, and I certainly hear that in myself. It's actually, I was talking with a good friend about this the other day. About, it is one of the... God, we need more of those. Oh, shit. Streaming is so much fun. One of the ways it does sometimes, I'm not sure it's terribly healthy for your ego. I will say that. Trying my damnedest not to let it get in... Not to let it fuck shit up, but... What was Tub on this chart? I wasn't anywhere. I transcend the chart. That's not true, Connor. Don't listen to him. He was chaotic evil. They tried to put me in a box, but I'm bigger than the box. He was in chaotic evil. That's where he was on the chart. He consumes the box. Can you be any more chaotic evil than right now in this very moment? Exactly, Victoria. Consume the box. Succumb to your chaotic evil nature. I have so many of these coming, and they're still... Yo, let's go. Duke has redeemed VIP for a month. Let's go. Sprigger says, it's always interesting to see what people see. I have a lot of insecurities, but I'm usually pleasantly surprised to see what people have to say. I think lawful good is actually spot on for me. I think it's very spot on for you, Sprigget. Very spot on for you. Dr. House MD says, how would that work if people didn't think they were right? Wouldn't people just not say things, or say things and just be like, I think I don't know? House, are you asking what happened if people didn't have egos? I think a little ego is super healthy. I don't think anyone's saying that no ego is the solution. I think less ego might be the solution. Duke is VIP for a month. 1 second, Duke. I'll get it for you. Duke Hugo, VIP. Let's go. There you go, Duke. You should have a purple diamond beside your name. Thanks for the 15,000 channel points, man. Something very strange happened today. What happened, Connor? Okay. Where is this shit? Nope. Let's do this. Look at all those ships. Holy shit. Going between D's and Goblin. I think partially what Victoria might be talking about. And tell me if I'm wrong, Victoria. Please tell me if I'm wrong. I've never been wrong before. I'd love to know when I'm wrong. Chicken. I think partially what Victoria might be talking about here is the way I kind of see the internet / social media reality we live in right now is that you are kind of one of the greatest sources, one of the easiest ways to get power in the world right now is to pretend or believe that you know for sure what you're talking about and to say it very clearly and loudly. And one of the things that lets you do that is maybe having a little bit more ego rather than not. Cheers, Strawberry. And that works because each of us has access to a megaphone, and the people who scream loudest into that megaphone and scream most also seductively into that megaphone, the megaphone gets bigger and bigger. And at least partially this is related to it for me. I don't know if this is how Victoria is feeling. Is that what that leads to is sort of like man, we just can't make these fast enough. What the heck? Is like it's like an ego economy, kind of. I don't know. That's how I see it. That's why so much of Twitter is like really painful for me, is that it feels like it's kind of like, okay, so I'm gonna piss anybody off right now who is who's super into crypto. But if you're super into crypto right now, and even if you're not, you've seen this on the internet, which is just a million fucking people screaming that they know what's going down with crypto next. And 1,000 people screaming that, and 1 million people, following and paying attention to those comments. And the sort of shit about it is, the louder and the more boldly you claim to know the truth, the bigger audience it gets. It seems to me. And it kind of feels like a microcosm of a larger thing that's happening. And if Victoria, maybe this is not where Victoria was coming from, but if Victoria is saying, yeah, it kind of feels like maybe we could use a little bit less, a little bit more I don't know, a little bit less I definitely know for sure, then I'm in 100% agreement, because that's what partially makes it. Very honestly, do you guys want to bring this super full circle? Let's bring this super full circle. We were talking earlier about the booktube channel that I used to make, and people were like, but you had such strong opinions. We loved hearing your opinions on these things. You made all these videos about books and etc. Hi, Panda. How's it going? This is definitely not Roblox. And people are always like, why don't you make those anymore? Why don't you make those anymore? Part of the reason I can't make those anymore is because that took a different level of ego to make all those videos where I'm like, this is the truth about the book Infinite Jest. This is the truth about this book by Jonathan Franzen. Part of the reason I can't do that anymore is that I just don't even like, is that it's super painful to try and entertain that, that it's a different part of the ego now, right? Like, I'm definitely not saying I don't have an ego. I'm saying the ego it took to say, this is the truth about this book. I no longer have the heart to make stuff like that. I don't really have the heart to consume stuff like that. Because it's just like, I don't know. It's probably not the truth, you know? It's likely not. It's likely wrong. Anyways, I've been ranting for a minute here. Hi, Panda. You're telling me you don't want me to buy Bitcoin? It's going to reach 100K. You're going to miss out on the big bucks, Ryan. Rocket emojis, diamond emojis, hand emojis. You can also actively challenge your beliefs to try and prove them wrong. And if your beliefs stand up to the challenges, they are strengthened. That's how science is supposed to work. Nice. Nice, Duke. This has been a stream and a half. Somewhere on YouTube, a big Dyson fan is super pissed off. I think that's probably true. All right, we have some blue science now. It's still massively lacking these suckers. We're going to figure that out. GME to the moon. GME to the moon. GME to the moon. I was never around for booktube. I understand it as a phase that a lot of people here loved, but it's just not where we are anymore. Yeah, I'm sure it's annoying, Strawberry. Is it annoying, Strawberry? I shouldn't say I'm sure, because I don't actually know. Strawberry, is it annoying to have me talk about it all the time? Because I feel like it might be.
Maybe you'll be president but know right from wrong, or in the flood you'll build an ark and sail us to the moon, sail us to the moon, sail us to the
GME
moon,
to the
sail
moon.
us to the moon.
Blockbuster to the moon. GME to the moon. Oh, buddy, look at this whole thing. Look at this whole thing. Panda, how's it going? Take this and demand and... Oh, buddy, I love the way. 698. Chat, quote 698, something like that. $697. I hadn't heard of BookTube until I started following the stream. Now you know the rest of the story. Thanks for the 5 bits, Tub. It's sort of unfortunate. It's not massively unfortunate. I'm really thankful for my time making videos about books on the internet, but also it's sort of like we sort of reached the exact unfortunate level of, in big quotations here, okay? We sort of reached a very unfortunate level of fame, which is just like, just barely, quote unquote, enough people knew what we were doing. Just enough people knew what we were doing to for many of them to be interested in what we do here as well. And like enough that I get random Instagram requests every single day to follow me, and I'm like, that's just 100% a person who found a video I made about a book once on the internet from a past life. Sorry, Connor has a message in chat. A girl from my year group in school walked up to me while I was walking home. She was just smoking cigarettes, as you do. Said, "Hi, what's your name?" I responded accordingly. She then asked me if I could hang out with her friends Jay, Lucas, Cole. I said, once I did, a couple years ago. She then talked to me about how she smoked cigarettes and that I shouldn't do it. So that was odd. I then drifted on home. Connor, that's a hell of a conversation. Connor's close to 15K chats. I want to get VIP this stream. Has Duke posted since he got it? Yes, he has. There we go. If I'm gonna be very honest, I don't completely regard your type of book videos as booktube. Mainstream booktube is so fake and in many ways immature, and you didn't have that. Yeah, it's definitely that. I appreciate that. First off, Panda, thank you. It's definitely adjacent to that genre though, and I appreciate that. It's a maybe a useful shorthand for like what we were doing. I don't know what to do with this whole area right here. We're doing science again though, so that's good. We're doing science again. Strawberry says it's not annoying that people talk about booktube. It's just like I missed this really important bonding experience that a lot of people are definitely still about. Like Ryan had a magical book hookup with chat at summer camp, and I just kind of heard about how great it was next summer. Yo, that's a perfect comment, Strawberry. Holy shit, the perfect comment award goes to Strawberry today. What the fuck? That's great. It's kind of like Ryan had a magical book hookup with chat at summer camp, and I just kind of heard about how great it was the next summer. That's so fucking good. That's so good. Oh my god. Hi, McPogs. You're welcome. That's perfect, Strawberry. Ryan, you're right. Everyone's got a voice on social media. Now it's just a competition of who can shout louder. The more views you get, the more entitled you feel to share what your beliefs are, even if they're abhorrently wrong or tone deaf. Yeah. And it's the great curse, right? Like, what I love about social media is that all voices can be platformed, right? It's not who got the education and who went to college for this and whose daddy knows the publisher of the magazine, and therefore they can write the thing which seeks an audience. It's the democratization, quote unquote, of our voices, right? But buddy, does it come with its list of complications? It's enough to make your head spin. I have spent so much of my life just feeling like I'm so blessed and cursed to be born in this time period, like many of us are, right? But like, I just don't feel like I have the personally, I don't feel like I have the type of brain to sort through the internet in a sane way, right? It's like why I have drastically limited how I spend my time on the internet, and will continue to do so, because I just don't feel capable and honestly, it was way worse when the depression was really bad, but like a lot of days it was just like, not a thing I'm capable of doing today is sorting through all of the complication of the internet, because it just feels like too much. It just feels like so overwhelming, so overwhelming. I don't know. There have been a lot of good quotes this stream, but Strawberry's had the best one. It's a really, really, really good one. The term does help describe what you were doing, but when you look at everyone else, question mark, all the other people spending hundreds of dollars on books they'll never read just because it's a trend. Yeah, but also, Panda, like, that's the least generous way of... I hear you, but that's the least generous way of seeing... One of the less generous ways of seeing it, too, right? There's so many worse hobbies than, like, doing your used book shopping and geeking out with other people on the internet. And also, there were also really great creators on BookTube that I did not live up to. There were really great creators out there who made way better stuff than I did, and made it more consistently too. I wonder how the internet will look in 200 years, just because of how much growth there's been with it. Will the internet even be like? Will it even be? Hi, Surprise. How's it going? We have covered so many fucking conversational topics today. Wow. Blue's done. I don't know. Let's go take a look at science real quick. See if I can make it go faster. Science machine go burr, right? Something like that. Can I go more vertical with this? Yes. How vertical can I go with it? Yeah? Science machine go burr. Better than spending hundreds of dollars on a Twitch streamer. Exactly, Duke. Exactly. That's what I mean. Will it even last that long? Like, what's the next iteration? Yeah. What's the next iteration? Will the internet just be will the internet just be bumping up against other sources of information in our own brains? That's my bet. Something like that, right? We just miss you cosplaying as David Foster Wallace. Okay, Ryan? That's why you're better?
Will Internet 2 come out before Minecraft 2?
What was that, Victoria? I hate myself right now. I so fucking hate myself right now. Will Internet 2 come out before Minecraft 2? What was that, Victoria? I just feel sometimes like I wasn't meant to exist in this century. I already broke my hunter hat today. Here's the deal. I also want to recognize the complication of the thing I said earlier about living in different time periods. Maybe we just fucking crank through science. Maybe that's what we should do. Because also, there's been no better time to be a human than in the last 20 years for so many reasons. So many reasons. I was definitely born in the wrong time. For instance, air conditioning and also vaccines.
Rip Hunter.
Rest in peace, Hunter. Thanks so much, Big Pox. I should have been born in the late 18th century and gotten burned at the stake for talking about the void because they thought that I was a witch. I always wanted to go through the simpler life of a Germanic tribesman in 9 AD defeating the Romans for the first time in the Battle of the Teutberg Forest. It seemed like a simpler yet darker time. Panda says, I don't know, I just dislike mainstream booktube. Everyone's attitude is so peppy and it's obviously fake and everyone feeds each other spending habits and hardly anyone ever actually talks about books. I know it's kind of cynical. Panda, I'd just say you're on the wrong side of booktube then. That sounds to me like you dislike mainstream pop music. You're listening to the, you know, I hear you. Mainstream pop music maybe sucks. I don't know enough on this topic to say that it sucks. But also there's great fucking pop music out there, right? I don't disagree with anything you said about mainstream booktube. There's plenty of booktube channels that I have looked at and been like, ooh buddy. But there's really good shit out there. There's a lot of great booktube stuff out there. There is, for real. It's just finding it, you know? I don't know. My mom scheduled my appointment. She has all my insurance and shit. She told me my doctor's appointment and therapy appointment was today. Neither of them are today. Oh, no surprise. When are they? I'm of the opinion that I was born in the right century, but that this century shouldn't have been the way that it is. There you go. Yeah. Okay, so what's going on with red science? Red science is just not quick enough? Do we upgrade it now too? Fuck it, guys. Maybe we upgrade red science. Let's try it. Let's try it. I don't know what I'm doing in Dyson today, other than talking as many philosophical questions with chat as possible. Oh, shit. That's the wrong button. There we go. There's a lot of great booktube peeps. I think there's popular trends in everything that is a little bit fake. That thinking applies to a lot of things. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing is now quote 700. Thank you so much, Mars Alien. Thank you so much for that. It's quirky to not like mainstream music, but I'll say it. I listen to Billie Eilish and often Bad Guy is a good song.
I
Dude,
knew it smelled like
I fucking
poop
love
in
Billie
here.
Eilish. Oh no. I fucking love Billie Eilish, she says. Right as people raid. Holy shit, that's a raid. Del, how's it going? Hello, hello, hello.